Hi, welcome. This is a practice. Today's practice is called slow and deep. And actually, this particular class within our regular weekly schedule is going to become a practice that I'm calling refine and align. It'll be a slow, deep practice every week where we'll deepen the techniques of the Anusara practice and really refine and stretch and strengthen so that we can get into these level 1 poses more safely and deeper. And you'll just know you're going to get a consistently slower paced, deeper practice that's geared towards refining the level 1 poses. So in addition to that, the Tuesday morning class will become a 45-minute fundamentals of Anusara yoga. And that's where we will break down the universal principles of alignment and the core philosophy of Anusara yoga. And it will be available in your recorded on-demand library for you to deepen your practice from the basics. And then it'll be a great practice for you to invite your friends to who need some fundamentals and foundation in the Anusara method. And then we'll use this class on the Tuesday night, 5:30, the refine and align to, as it has been, but it'll inform the expanding capacity practice for Saturday. And the Saturday practices will always build the same routine over the month so that we can build our capacity and our strength into those deeper, faster paced practices, but we'll be able to learn as we go and you'll be able to trust the practice in that way. I hope that makes sense. And then the Thursday, 8 a.m. will always, it's been a 45-minute class and it will stay that way. And it will be hips and or shoulder, core and restore flow class. So that's what you're going to get consistently. And take one of your blankets, unfold it. From the folded edge, roll it up. Take that behind you with your forehead on the mat. Point your toes, shoelace side down, and slide that blanket roll up behind the backs of your knees. If you can, you'll hold the very edges of the ends of your blanket roll and pull them forward towards your ears. And then push down with your hands to lift your chest and sit up in the calf smash. If you need to keep your fingertips forward, if this is too much on your calves or your knees, and the hands can stay forward. Try to pull with the exhale your lower belly into your lower back and your sit bones down towards your heels. So the pelvic loop. And then if you can, you'll walk your hands up to your thighs. Press down on right where your hip creases are. You can use your hands and gently push the femur bones down towards the blanket and give that a nice big ah. Belly button back, buttocks flush down, eyes soft. So stay in that really sweet, still point. So when the fire of life puts a little pressure on us, can we stay in our stillness? and breathe with it. Now, conscious inhale, lift yourself up and forward. Slide that blanket roll down another inch or two towards the middle of your calf. And with the fingertips forward, push the floor down and away. Use the exhale to pull the navel back and the buttocks down. Maintain that and hands up to your thighs. If you're bringing your hands up to your thighs, spread your toenails down into the mat. Eyes down, breath deep. Release your shoulders from your ears. Unglue your tongue from the roof of your mouth. One more round of breath. With your inhale, bow the heart forward. Lift your hips a little bit. Slide that blanket roll all the way on top of your Achilles tendon on your heels. Fingers forward. Push the hands down and forward and let the exhalation pull the navel back. Draw the tailbone towards your heels. Climb one hand at a time up to the hip creases and compress the femur bones down. And guide the breath like you did that very, very first pose where it was so easy. Ujjayi breath has a sound, that ocean breath that we learned with Lakshmi. And with Saraswati, the moonlight breath. Okay, take that blanket roll behind you. Come to hands and knees. You want your balls of your feet to be on the mat. And when you lift up into downward dog, your heels come on the blanket. Bend your knees. Lift your sit bones. Bow the mind to the heart. Breathe the heart energy into the belly. Anchor from the heart through the arms. Extend from the heart up through the hips and down through your heels. Walk your hands backward to meet your feet. One handprint at a time. And then step the feet forward so you're standing on level ground, feet sitting bone distance apart. Bend your knees. Wrap your forearms behind the backs of your calf muscles. If you can, you'll hold your wrists or maybe your fingers. And just go into your own little love cave here. With your arms, press the shins forward toward your nose. Keep pressing the shins forward. From your buttocks, push down through your feet. And see if you can use the muscles above your kneecaps to pull the legs up to straight. Shins forward, thighs back. Bend the knees. Release your hands. Walk it forward, downward dog. You can step your heels on the blanket or choose to leave them off, up to you. Walk the hands back to meet your feet. If your heels are not on your blanket roll, put them on the blanket roll. And then bend the knees into a nice squat. Elbows to inner knees. Squeeze the knees into your elbows, but push the elbows back with the hands to the heart. See if you can pull the thumbs towards the sternum and the sternum up to the heart. Push down from your hips to your heels. And if you had one wish for your human family, what is it? Pour that into the fire of your heart. Give it your breath. Fingertips to the earth. Squeeze the knees into your arms. And then straighten out your legs and step off the blanket. Hands go really wide and on fingertips. Bend the elbows wide. Draw the inner edges of your shoulder blades toward your spine and release your head. And we'll slowly come to a downward facing dog and to a child's pose. So you'll just take your time. Let your breath be your guide. If your forehead doesn't easily touch the floor in your child's pose, or your hips don't easily touch your knees, figure out how to support yourself with a blanket, either under your head or wherever your intuition is going to tell you to give yourself support from below. Now listen to your breath. And in the next 3 to 5 breaths, invite you down to a prone position on your belly. Path of least resistance, getting down to the belly. Let your forehead rest on the backs of your hands. Gently shake out your hips a little bit. Just let them kind of roll around or shimmy shake. Ujjayi breath. Stay in that still point of the breath. And then we'll come up to a very small Sphinx pose. So elbows very far forward. Drag the elbows back and pull the navel forward. Lift your belly. Lift your heart. Move the breath from low belly to low back. And then one more time. Rest the forehead to the backs of your hands. Press up to child's pose. And then hands by the knees, lift your chest and come up to seated. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.